Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
hello.
Hello. And
You
welcome.
You are live with us.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to talk about 5 life-changing dynamic growth hacks.
Yes, this stuff is some real good stuff, people. So pay attention, and you'll definitely get a lot from it.
Get the pen and paper out.
Yep.
You're going to be
absolutely.
taking notes. Welcome. Good evening. My name is Carl Knock. I am an award-winning digital marketing strategist and process analyst. I have won awards with the Tampa Bay Builders Association as well as the United States Navy for helping them improve systems and increase revenue. I am also an MBA candidate, and I am a co-owner of Around the Leaf Consulting.
With me. And I am Nicole Knock. I have a background in sociology, which kind of gives me an interesting take on the whole business world because I'm able to kind of zoom out and see it for the macro, meso, and micro systems at play there and how they affect each other, cause and action.
Hello, welcome. Those who are just joining us.
Yes.
We're talking
Welcome.
about 5 life-changing dynamic growth hacks.
Yes.
You're not going to want to miss them. Just give a shout out when you get in. Let us know that you're there, and we will get started. We noticed that what really led us to these growth hacks and how we came about them is as we were going through part-time jobs, different, trial jobs, it seemed,
Yeah.
we seem to lack direction.
It's so easy when you have a part-time job to just feel like you're going through the motions, or that you maybe don't have, you feel like you're wasting time, and you're there for like 5 years and nothing has turned, no wheels have turned, nothing has progressed in your life. And then you look at your life and you wonder where that 5 years went. And we were doing that for a while. We had, part-time jobs, a lot of part-time jobs, where we weren't necessarily going anywhere with them. And the way we made it work for ourselves is we actually followed these tactics, and that way we were working towards something bigger outside of our position that that made us feel fulfilled and made us feel that the time that we were spending in life in general was still well spent. Hi everyone who just joined. Welcome.
What up,
welcome.
Steven?
Yep.
Jen?
Jen, how
Jen
you
Chambers,
how's it
how
going?
are you?
So, without further ado, we'll get into the life hacks. So the first thing is, go ahead.
Number 1 is you want to visualize your goal. You want to, if it takes you to close your eyes, if it, takes you to meditate, whatever you need to do, but you need to kind of visualize what that goal is.
Yeah.
You need to kind of picture if it's...
So
Go ahead.
the point, the process in this is to picture yourself as a 60 or 70-year-old person, and just what is that person like? What does that person do? How does that person speak? How does that person act? What has that person accomplished in life? So once you picture that and you see that ideal person, you can then kind of work your way up to that spot. Because you want to be in that position where you're 70 or 80 even, and you're proud of everything you've done and you have no regrets. So the only way to do that is to picture that person when you're 70 or 80, and then work on your goals to get to being that person. So basically, like, for example, if I look forward and I see that there's a well-educated person, that I would want to be that person, I would want to be respected, then I would need to go to school, and become that person. Maybe work on my speaking skills, maybe work on my networking to get that influence. What are some of the things that you would see yourself as?
What's up, Shannon? Talk about growth hacks.
Yes.
And visualizing your goal and picturing the person that you want to be.
Basically, your ideal self. When you're 70 or 80, what does that person look like? If you spent your life the way you wanted to, what does that 70 or 80-year-old person look like? What kind of characteristics do they have? What job do they have? What are they dressed? How do they dress? How do people view them? So,
and you can really, you don't even have to scope out that far, even if you want to look at 10 years from now. So there's a saying that says that most people overestimate what they can do in a year, but underestimate what they can do in 10.
absolutely.
And if you're putting yourself just looking 10 years, maybe you're watching this and you are very close to 60 and you're like, yeah, or over 60. You're like, yeah, I know what that looks like.
Still got
But
80.
just looking at 10 years, right, from that, and you can really start to visualize what that person would look like,
Yeah.
or what that goal would look like.
I mean, you really have to understand the power of this tactic because I don't think we would be where we are right now in anything in our life without this tactic. We've had nothing but pretty much dead-end jobs when we were dating and
Sure.
a much younger family. And if we didn't have these goals in mind, there's no way we would have a beautiful home or our beautiful children or anything, our degrees.
Our degrees. I was
Yeah.
about to say that. Yeah.
There's
I'm about to
no
get an
way.
MBA.
Yeah.
And before that, it wasn't even a thought.
Yeah, I mean, once you have that person in mind and once you have those goals in mind, every decision gets easier. Every process of elimination gets easier. That doesn't align with who you want it to be, it's scrapped. It's really easy to make decisions once you have your mind made up on who you want to be. Okay, the next, anybody have any ideas of
Give some shout out.
characteristics?
Feel
Say
free.
hi. Yeah.
The best thing that you can do
Definitely.
right now is hit that share button, share with your friends.
Yes.
Let them know if this is something that you really identify with. You're like, yes, this sounds perfect. This sounds like so-and-so would like this.
Mm-hmm.
Tag them in it, share it with them so
Yes.
that they can get this too.
Because this could be a pivotal moment in your life, just thinking about life this way. We've had that moment in our lives, and we would love to share it and have people grow from that as well.
Absolutely.
The next thing that's
What up, Dean?
super important, hey Dean. The next thing that is super important is to, there's a tactic that I like to use where you actually physically write down with pen and paper. There's psychology behind it. There's something about, hey Lena, there's something about pen and paper that,
Power of the pen.
the power of the pen, yes. Then your psychology, it works better for some reason. There's a lot of research on it, you can look that up. But is to write down what you love doing at a job. Hey. What you love doing at a job, and then another list of what you absolutely do not like doing. For example, for me, I am not a desk work person at all. Like, I'm not. Carl could work at a desk all day long. I'm more of an interactive, I'm just not a desk person. So there are definitely dislikes and likes in your life and in the positions that you've held that have taught you what you want and what you don't want to do. Does anyone have an example of what they dislike in a position?
I can give mine. I'm
A
not.
boss?
Well, no, like a kind of a structured end time. Most of the jobs that I've had most recently, even before owning this Around the Leaf, it wasn't there, And before that, there was like a set time. You had to be there at, you had to clock in, clock out. If you were late, shame on you.
Sure.
But you can stay as late as you need to,
The out time doesn't matter.
Yeah, the out time, of course, didn't
makes
really
sense.
matter. But just as long as, you weren't working overtime, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you get into that loop. And so that was one thing that I didn't really like. And there's just, you know, when I isolate what I don't like, you know, it starts to, you know, write that down. Take a sheet of paper, write a big T on it, dividing it up, and that's what you're doing. You're writing what you like to do or what you love to do, and what you hate, you do not want to do.
Yes.
Wouldn't want to. They couldn't pay you enough to do that.
But you still might be doing it right now just because it's a job.
Sure. Hey, Frank. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Frank.
Talking about recognizing likes and dislikes
Yes.
as a growth hack. Writing them down, separate sides of paper, and really...
So basically what it is, you know, whenever you know the likes and dislikes, then you have somewhere to go with that. Because certain jobs are going to have what you like, certain jobs are going to have what you don't like. And that kind of provides the framework for, you know, getting a position that you're happy in and that you can progress in the way you want it to. The next thing is to kind of go in the middle and find your hobbies or your likes or your interests. What are you passionate about? And you don't necessarily have to be passionate about something, because not everybody is. But there are some people who just have that passion, and maybe it's not a realistic passion because it's not marketable or seemingly marketable. But when you put these passions or these interests in the middle of the likes and dislikes, picture starts to form of positions that would, you know, have both of these characteristics, basically. So then, after that, the next step is to do your research, really, is to find out, you know, where would your likes, dislikes, and passions or interests, where would they best fit the workplace field, or where would they, what industry do you need to be in? What do you need to do to get to that position? Because say you're a photographer and you don't like working outside, you do love fashion, so you want to be a fashion photographer. Obviously that's a very thin window and not a lot of positions, but someone has to fill that position. Hi, Rob.
Hey, Rob. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, welcome, welcome. So someone has to fill that position, and once you know what your goal is, being that position, then you know, basically backtrack and find out what you need to do to get there. I mean, do you need a degree? Because if you think that, you know, you should be a fashion photographer and you're going to go to this school and you're going to spend all this money on this nice shiny little diploma, and they look at the diploma and they say, we don't care. We want your experience. We don't want your degree. You know, then you have a diploma in one hand, a lot of debt in the other, and no dream job, really.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not always that clear cut either. You know, if 30 years ago or 20 years ago, Mark Zuckerberg sat down with somebody and asked them, you know, wrote out what his hobbies and interests were and tried to pinpoint them in to the current industries on the market, well, we wouldn't be talking to you today, because...
To be fair, MySpace did exist.
Not 20 years ago.
Well, not 20 years, but...
Social media was just being born 20 years
like
ago.
10.
But, sure. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's when you have those like, what do you want to be when you grow up kind of conversations, you know, at school. They challenge you.
We're talking to adults here.
Well, sure. I mean, when I was younger, I wanted to be a farmer. I don't know. That was when I was 3, though. So, ever since then, though, I've wanted to be exactly what I'm doing now, which is, you know, impacting people's lives, helping them improve, and finding those shortcuts that they may have missed. So, you know.
Sure.
So how's everybody doing out there? Austin, welcome. What's up, cuz? Haven't seen you in a while. And everyone else. We're talking about growth hacks and recognizing kind of that likes and dislikes, to visualize that goal and to picture that person that you want to be.
Yeah. So
I know there's a little bit of a delay, so if you go ahead, type away, or faster, just hit those thumbs up. If you're liking what you're hearing, hit those hearts. And the biggest one that you can do is share it with your friends. Let them know that this is something that they need to check out.
definitely.
So number 4 is you need to wade through. Thank you for those thumbs up and hearts. Wade through. Number 4 is wade through the water. Okay, so you're trying to find what's in the middle. Hey, Selena, thanks for joining.
Hi.
We're just getting to hack number 4 of 5 here, growth hacks. Number 4 is wade through the water. You're kind of finding what's in the middle. So far, you have visualized that goal. You visualized that person that you want to be. Welcome, Heather. You have recognized your likes, your dislikes. You have identified your hobbies and interests. Oh, no problem. No problem.
Don't
no
get
problem.
fired. This is the anti-firing show.
Yeah, don't get fired unless that's not you're living what you don't want to do. But I know you, and I know you are
make
doing
life
what you
decisions
like
right
to
now.
do. So. But so
to
you've
you.
identified your hobbies and interests. You're kind of putting them together, figuring out, and now you're wading through the water to see what impact you can make on the world with what you like to do, and play it into those things that you're passionate about, and then that is what you're going to strive for. That's what you're going to be able to do, and that's what you should be doing, what you're passionate on. And I can already hear it, right? Well, what if there's nothing that I like to do, or I don't really have any interests. I don't know. I mean, I get up, I come on Facebook, I go off of Facebook, maybe I play some games, and that's it. What would you say?
What would I say?
Yeah.
Well, coming from someone who doesn't really have a lot of interests, I would say that maybe you don't have interests, but maybe you have skills that you recognize, or maybe you don't recognize. But if you don't necessarily recognize those skills that you are, they're just innate. You naturally, have like for me, for example, I'm really good at problem solving outside of the box. I'm a very analytical thinker. I can look at the bigger situation and come up with a creative solution. And I thought that everybody could do that. But, as I got older, I realized that that's not necessarily true. It's a great question.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that. So look at those skills, or those natural abilities, and go from there. Because at that point, that's a strength, and that can lend to a lot of different fields. But with your likes and dislikes, you'll definitely be able to narrow it down to funnel to a very much smaller set of choices for a position or a direction.
Sure.
Basically.
So the question is, Rob, thank you, so how do you monetize that passion? That's a great question. Let's get right down to it, right? Okay, I love bungee jumping. How do I make money doing that? So really what you want to do, what you want to start doing
That's
is
the wading in the water.
This is that step. You're wading in the water. I would recommend you're going to look at the people who are already doing that. You're going to look at or something close there too. How are they doing it? I was just having a conversation with my daughter. She likes to run and race, and was kind of lamenting on how kids who ultimately are older than she is, have longer legs, can run faster than she can. And I told her, well, you know what? You don't need to, if you're racing against them, just don't focus on them. But take some time, step aside, watch how they run. Are they taking long strides, short strides?
Sure.
Are they balling their fists up when they run? Are they running with their hands open?
Yes.
Study the market that your passion relates to.
Absolutely.
There's already people making money doing it.
Absolutely, yes.
You can at least mimic them right now so you can isolate how you can revolutionize it.
Yes. This is one of my favorite little points. I mean, I made it up, so it's kind of my favorite. But it's, don't reinvent the wheel. The wheel is there. There are plenty of books out there, plenty of resources. There's Google. Google has millions of answers for anything you could ask. I'm not even going to get into the weird ones. But, you know, don't reinvent the wheel. Revolutionize it. Take something in that market and change it just a little bit to where it's your unique contribution to that market. And that way you won't even have competition. Look at for example, Cirque du Soleil. You know,
Right.
They're a circus, but they decided that they were going to take circus to a different level and make it look different and feel different and be one of its own. Like, nothing compares to the theatrical input that Cirque du Soleil put into the circus.
Sure.
And that's all that is. It's the circus reinvented.
Yep. And Mari, you're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome for getting those gears running. The best thing you can do is share this with your friends.
Yes,
Derek
please share,
Forrest,
share.
welcome. We're talking about growth hacks, and we just hit number 5, which is don't reinvent the wheel. Reinvent the wheel, revolutionize it. So we're
Yes.
talking about Cirque du Soleil. A point on that is, so what they did is they looked at the current, of what a circus offered, and kind of got rid of some of the staples that you would find at a circus, like rings or elephants or they got down to what they could monetize, to Rob's point, right? And it was a little bit, if you go to a Cirque du Soleil event, you're going to pay more than what you would pay if you go to just
Absolutely.
Ringling Brothers. But what they did is they took what you get at a theater event and mirrored that with the circus and these acros or acrobats, and that is what the performance is, and that really captivates. Plus the scripts are point on. It touches.
I mean,
and
they
the passion.
basically put like Broadway and the circus together.
They did.
Really.
They absolutely did.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
Just want to make sure.
Mari, I'm so glad you are enjoying this conversation.
What's up,
We are
Katie?
too.
Welcome,
Yes, welcome, Forrest. Hi.
everyone. Sorry, my finger. I'm trying to make sure I'm staying up on comments.
Yes, definitely. Feel free to interject or ask questions or, make points. We love interaction, so.
If you're liking
By
what
all
you're
means.
seeing, hit that thumbs up, hit those hearts,
Yeah.
and share it with your friends,
Yes,
making
please
sure
share.
that these are something that could impact them as it's impacting you.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of to review, we've talked about the 5 growth hacks, which is, you want to visualize your goal, or you want to picture that person that you want to become. And this is something that's just, picture that person 10 years from now of who you want to be. Recognize, thank you for those hearts and thumbs up. Recognize those likes and dislikes. I'm recognizing those likes. Hey Sonia, welcome.
Sonia.
Recognizing those likes. Identify the hobbies and the interests, what you're passionate about. What really you feel like you can impact the world on. Wade through the water. So how does it apply? If you wanted to, how can this be monetized? Hey Janice, wade through the water. Find out how the industry leaders or the people who are doing it, what are they doing to monetize it? What are they doing to bring it, forward into the market?
Absolutely.
And see how you can make it better. They're probably missing something. If there's only 1 or 2 people in that industry, they probably cannot handle the need that's there, and you could just mimic that and capitalize on it. And that you can monetize it. And number 5, really, really important, you don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel each and every time. That's what we're saying. Look at how people are doing it now, who the leaders are, and then revolutionize it. Turn it on its head. See what you can, increase on, what you can reduce, what you can keep the same, what you can eliminate altogether from it, and that's how you reinvent. That's how you get those growth hacks, and that's how you kill it. That's how you just dominate it, crush it.
Because then you don't have any competition. because
Absolutely.
you're offering something unique that no one else is. So, just
Are there any questions out there?
Are there any questions?
Like, give us some feedback. Just, a few things, Mari.
Is there anything you've tried
Yeah.
as far as goal setting? Recognizing your path or your passion. What has worked for you?
While you guys are typing away, there's always this, because we're kind of talking about goal setting and things like that. And there's always one question that I hear a lot, which is, how many goals do I need to set? What is there, like a magic number? Should I be, setting 10 goals, 30 goals? What's up, Cooley? Welcome.
So cool.
Should I be setting 30, 10 goals? And really, how many goals you should be setting is what's comfortable for you to manage and what you can track, really. This goes right down to just regular business. You don't want to set so many goals that you cannot track them and know what you're doing, So if you want to start off with one main goal, then start out with one main goal and crush it, Or, another thing is, hey, Kelly, welcome. Another thing is, well, what if I get, I start just hard charging towards this goal. I write out my likes, my dislikes. I've got my hobbies and my interests. And once I start wading through the water, I realize, man, it sucks, And really, you're going to have to make that call. That's kind of a game time decision. Is it something that maybe one of your dislikes is really just a lesser dislike only because you're not good at it? Once you revolutionize that, you are then able to, it opens up a new window or a new avenue for you. For me, that was in sales at first. When I first started, I was kind of thrown at it, given a phone and a prayer and said, hey, travel 50 miles and go sell some granite. So, I wasn't set up for success.
That's a good point, because what you said about the dislikes, is it because... Aw. Thanks, Sonia.
Yeah.
That's a good point, because from what he's saying, with the dislikes, do you dislike it because you're just not good at it? But is it like one of those things where it could be pivotal to the direction of your ultimate goal for your career? Where, everything else lines up, but that dislike is just sitting there. But maybe it's sales, maybe it's public speaking, where these things, you can either reject them, or you can reinforce these things. Like, if you reject them, they're, ultimately not going to be a big part of your future or your future goals. So you just, absolutely reject them. But if there's something that just maybe needs reinforcement, there's plenty of help out there. Like I said, that the internet is full of it. There are plenty of confidence boosting programs. Just doing this helps a lot, just to hear that motivation and to kind of be on that path to a better life, or a more complete life with less regrets in the end.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. Absolutely right. And feel free, thank you, Sonia, feel free to hit those thumbs up, hit those hearts, hit that share button, and give us your goals. Tell me your goals. I want to hear some of yours.
Sonia, what's your goal?
Yeah, what's your goal? What do you want?
Put you on blast, Sonia.
That's it. What's your 30-day goal? So another question that I've heard is, which is more important to set, long-term or short-term goals? So long-term or short-term goals, which is more important? And really,
I'm glad we could help you out, Mari. That's awesome. I'm glad you got something from this.
Yes, awesome.
Wish you the best.
Yep. Share it with your friends.
Yes, share.
And so long-term or short-term goals, which is better to set? And that's really dependent on what you're trying to accomplish. or if you're trying to retire in 4 years, well, you're going to have to set some fast short-term goals.
Those are some beefy goals.
You're going to have to speed it up. It's
Beefy
possible.
goals.
It's possible. People have retired at 30, 40, and 50.
Sure, people
So-
become millionaires in 2 years. It just depends on how hard you're going to want to work
Absolutely.
and what you want to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, what's up, Nathan? Welcome.
Welcome.
And so, we're going through these growth hacks and how to really grow you as a person, grow you as a brand. Taking what you like, what your hobbies are, matching those together, and we love you too.
Yeah, I love you too.
And really finding out how to impact everyone else, and I know it's a fast changing world, and I'll ask this question to you. I want your feedback on it. The market is faster changing. Every 6 months there's seems to be a new iPhone out, and excuse me, there seems to be a new iPhone out or something, there's always updates. Things are changing online, algorithms, this, that, and the other, with such fast pace. Like, how really is somebody expected to set like a long-term goal? A long-term goal is more than a year.
That's easy. Everything from now on, really everything is going to go, like, for example, I majored in sociology, and that was a subject I thought I wouldn't have to deal with technology in. And it turned out every single subject now is going to be based in technology. Everything. You have to have a basic knowledge of technology. Same thing going forward with business growth and just companies in general. Everything is going to have to transform into this digital platform where companies are far more inclusive of the digital life side of it.
Sure.
And so you're going to have to just accept and conform with the digital part of it, and it will be ever changing because now you have so many people coming together and rather so much innovation, and he did not prep me at all for this question. There's just so much innovation. There's so many people with the access to these tools that we're talking about online, all the programs that are out there, all the books that are out there. And so as long as you have that passion is going to be the same. The digital part of it might change. To be honest with you, if you're focused on a passion and it's not digitally focused, and that's not your passion, then you probably will need a digital consulting firm or consultant, really, or hire someone for your digital, because otherwise you're really not going to survive the millennials.
Hey, what's up, Jason?
The millennials are coming.
What's up, Jason? Welcome.
What's
Nathan,
up?
Nathan, what is your struggle? I saw you said that is my struggle. What if you don't have a single passion? That is a great question. Thank you for your question.
Yeah.
What if you don't have a single passion? I guarantee you...
You have a passion.
You do have a passion. I've seen your posts. They're very passionate. So you just need to make... that's where... you visualize where you want to... Who you want to be. Like 10 years from now, what does that person look like? What kind of vehicle are you driving? What kind of clothes are you wearing? What are you doing? Where are you living? How much money is in your bank account? And guess what? Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. 4 years before, Jim Carrey wrote a $10 million check to himself. All right, this was when he was broke. He was broke at the time. He was barely making $30,000 a year. Jim Carrey, who was driving around, California, and he would just sit outside of these estates and be like, "Yep, that's going to be me someday. Wrote himself
No, he says, I already have that. I just don't
Right.
have access to it.
that, right.
It's that's a whole nother subject that
That's
we
a
can
whole
do.
nother
Yes,
subject.
Jim Carrey is amazing.
Yes. And so he
Yeah.
wrote himself a check for $10 million and said, and put a date on it. And he was able to cash that check 2 months before it was due. And so anything's possible, right? It's the power of the pen. Visualize that goal, picture that person that you want to be, recognize what you like to do, honor what you don't like to do, find out those hobbies, find out those interests, find out how you can really impact and change the world. And don't just reinvent the wheel, but you can figure out, by doing all those things, you can figure out how you can revolutionize it and really make a name for yourself.
Yeah. Provide or solve a need is really what you need to do with, and of course make an impact while doing so, but it's really more looking for a need that's not necessarily there.
Right.
And when it comes to not having a passion, I really did not have so much of a passion. We kind of talked about this earlier, but
Thanks for those likes and hearts, by the way. I'm seeing them coming across. Thank you.
yeah. So it's really just a journey of what your strengths are as well. Hey, Elżbieta. It's really just looking at yourself and seeing what are your natural strengths? What are you good at? Are you good at investigating things? Are you good at problem solving? Are you good at speaking? Do you have a natural ability to speak? Oh, yay, hearts.
Hearts.
So really it's just finding out what you're naturally good at, or what is a natural easy thing for you to do. Like I said earlier, I like problem solving. I thought I thought everybody could do it. I'm a really good problem solver. I think outside of the box. I see it a macro view. I come in from a macro view, so I usually get solutions that no one really sees. So that's my, I guess, innate strength
Sure.
in that. And it might be conditioning, but either way, that's kind of where you go from there, and then really assess that likes and dislikes list. And I guarantee you there will be a way to have is it? Yeah, exactly. That's great. There will be a way to have those likes and dislikes and that interest or that strength in the middle, and for all of that to go together, and there will be, I guarantee it, especially in this digital age, there will be a way to make money off of it.
Yeah. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of time, and we are here to help you.
Yeah.
And I mean, so that's
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, that's going to be the driver, and
we need you on our show, Cooley.
Yeah, we might have to snatch you up on the show.
That's right. We need you as a guest.
So,
but you're right.
So,
you're right.
Cooley, what is your goal then? That's your drive, but what's your goal? What are you working towards? Calling you out.
That's right.
It's so cool to have
short-term or long-term goal.
It's just a random smorgasbord of people.
That's right. No, this is good. This is good. Love our audience.
Yeah. This is your chance to oh my gosh, words. To present your product.
So Nicole, what are your goals?
What are your goals? You keep asking me
I
questions.
asked you. I just asked you.
No.
We're putting them on the spot. We're
No.
gonna be open and honest with you. What is my goal? My goal is to be able to really impact the world, and this is obviously a big thing, right? So I've grown up, and I grew up in a Pentecostal church, and very devout, and gone out into the world, getting my college degree, and moving on to, after I get my MBA, to my doctorate in business administration. That's one goal of mine, is to have that DR in front of my name. But that's not the only reason. The reason is because there's a certain level of achievement to achieve that top level of academics. And you know, it's interesting, when I was probably in high school, I always wanted to be a doctor, you know, and only thought at that time, for some reason, that, you know, was kind of looking at medical doctor. But I have worked with medical doctors, rescoped it, fell in love with the business in general, and we really want to help business owners restructure how they, the industry is changing in social media and digital, and everything seems to change so fast. Something, you know, I get the question, well, what social media platform should it be on? Should I be on Periscope? Should I be on Snapchat? Should I be on, you know, should I be on Twitter? Should I be tweeting? Am I supposed to be tweeting? You know, and the answer is yes. But you should be tweeting. No, maybe, I don't know. It depends on the situation, but I like to add that. And Jasmine, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Hello.
And it's really about, my goal is to really help businesses and business owners grow and get to the next level through digital media. And that's my goal. And that's what Around the Leaf is all about. That's what our passion is. That's why we have created that avenue to be able to do just that.
My goal is, it's in line with that, but it's from a different angle. Because, I mean, like I said, I've studied sociology, so I'm more about society. I'm definitely more sensitive when it comes to societal change and just struggles people are facing because of changing society and these things that are going to be antiquated soon. Hiya! They're going to be antiquated soon, and my fear is that the people who are out there, who are the struggling business owners, who are the mom and pop shops, who've been struggling for decades, all of a sudden there's this rush of technology, and you know, it's going to sweep them off their feet by the time the millennials, you know, are the main buyers. Because I mean, the millennials, they've literally never had, or never not had, a technological device in their hand. You know, coding is what's taught in school more than cursive. I mean, so
it's very true. It's true.
I mean, our son is about to go to kindergarten, and there are laptops in their kindergarten. So I mean, it's definitely going to be a completely different atmosphere for businesses, and it's going to be a lot harder for businesses to stay competitive when the number of people actually using social media for things like customer service, customer complaints, it's really rising at an alarming, not alarming bad, but a very steep rate at this point. I don't have the exact figures on me because I didn't know we were going to discuss this, but so yeah, I mean, a lot of people are just going to be, they're going to end up being obsolete, or businesses are going to be obsolete. There's still that human drive there, like, but it's going to be based in digital. You know, so like, for example, if, you know, there's going to be a convention, it's no longer going to be like a, you know, word of mouth, whatever. It's going to be based in social media where, you know, the people who are going to the convention or interested in the convention are, you know, gathered up on social media to create a crowd to go to a convention and in person. So I feel like a lot of these businesses are not going to be prepared for that, and before they even know it, it's just going to be, you know, they're going to see that they're not offering what their customer needs. That's my passion, my drive for this business. So I really feel like I'm doing something to help the community, because I have a very soft spot in my heart for small businesses, because we used to have one. Yes. And now we do again.
I mean, yes. Something that you talked about, and it's very pointed, and it's a good topic on a fast way and why it is the way. Now, to the audience is, yes, VR, virtual reality, which
There's so many different things.
so
many
it's
things. We could talk for a month on the different
yeah.
technological advances that are just
As far as
expounded upon, really.
and I'll bring that
Because of digital
in there
space.
too, which is virtual reality. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Facebook Messenger. So right now, if you don't, businesses are able to have a business messenger account, right? So if you've ever give a thumbs up or a heart if you've ever called a company and hey Blake, if you've ever called a company and just got so confused by their prompts and you always get that same first thing, hey, listen, because our prompts have changed, and you know they haven't. But it's, and you press this number and that number. Yeah, there you go. Thumbs up, hearts. Thank you. Right? So
You need to change those.
they do need to change those, right? So if you've ever called a business, right, and got so confused by the prompts, you ended up just hanging up or tried to email them and then you don't get a response from them, but 3 months before they're offering something, you get an email. If you've ever had that, listen, Facebook Messenger is going to change that. What it's going to do is and they're slowly but surely changing the algorithms. Hey, Grandma, you have the ability to exchange money on there. You can encrypt the texts and everything like that. It's going to where you can, if you have a problem or you have a question of a business, you can pull up their page, go to their messenger, and send them a text, send them a message, and they will be expected to answer that within 30 minutes or less.
Yeah, that's definitely the key.
So this is going to put a different turn and spin on customer service, and the reason is that customer service, as we just said, there's a lot of little thumbs up and hearts there. People are frustrated with dealing with prompts. Nobody wants to deal with prompts. Nobody wants to choose which language they want to hear the thing in. Nobody wants to do that. It just was a convenience 20, 30 years ago. That doesn't need to happen anymore. And
to be fair, it's already happening because people are tweeting brands, and those brands who are digitally advanced and they're big enough to hire a digital consultant or a thought maker
no, keep going.
Basically those who are big enough to handle that change in the digital arena and the different analytics that go into it and everything like that, and hire people to be able to respond to people's complaints. Those people have an advantage over the people who are being complained about on social media and have no clue that there are negative reviews out about them. So I mean that's another big thing that's changing. I don't even know how we got in this topic.
Thank you for sharing that, Jasmine, by the way. And what's up, Ben?
Yes, thank you for sharing. Yeah, so
I'm looking at the comments, Nathan. Stuff like the computer programs stream are usually all online based, helps troubleshooting stuff. Absolutely. You're right, Nathan. And also virtual reality, it's not fully on yet, but expect that to be a full marketing capability in 5 years.
I mean, the good thing about it is people realize there is a need. So there are programs like Hootsuite that make social media easier, and different tools where it's not necessarily you doing the coding to be able to be online, or you figuring out all the content to be able to present your brand and strengthen your brand in a digital space. So luckily there are those tools for those transitioning to the digital space.
Right.
But yeah.
Absolutely.
So any questions, comments, anything before we wrap this up for the night?
Yes. All right. Well, if you would like to learn more, you can definitely share this and turn on notifications. We're gonna be doing this Monday through Friday. We'll have a new live video that you can join us, participate in, bring your questions, bring your energy, bring those thumbs up, hearts, and
Bring
shares,
your friends.
and everything like that. The other way is visit our website, www.aroundtheleaf.com.
It's still under construction, but
And
there is.
It's a site coming soon. We are fast trying to get that up. But hit that, subscribe, give me your email, and we're going to send out, we're going to be putting together some, what you heard today, we're going to put that together in a freemium and send that to you. So you can have that checklist, you can have these growth hacks. Hey, Craig, have these growth hacks in your back pocket right when you're, trying to think what you need to do next.
Kind of, a
So.
to-do list to hash out, your direction in life. But thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Please go like Around the Leaf, share this, share the love.
Yes.
And thank you for joining us. Thank you for participating. And
That's it.
that's it.
Good night.
Have a good night.